The rumble of thousands of feet breaks the evening silence. The men of the Aduatuk tribe are hurrying to join their allies, the Nervii. The battle is to be fought against the invincible legions of Rome, led by the glory-hungry Julius Caesar. In the distance showed a rapidly approaching detachment of mounted scouts. They brought bad news. The army of the Nervii and their allies had been defeated. The Aduatucs were too late. Now they must face the Romans alone. There's nowhere to go for help. The territory of the Belga is the north of Gallia. Once passing through the eastern territories of Belgica, the Cimber and Teutonic tribes left here a detachment of 6,000 men to guard the loot of the campaign, as they were unable to transport everything to the eastern bank of the Rhine. This detachment had a hard time. He had to fight with all his neighbors to get a piece of land for his new tribe, the Aduatuk tribe. The impossibility of facing the Romans alone forced the Aduatucs to abandon all their lands and take refuge in their main fortress. The fortress was surrounded on almost all sides by impregnable cliffs. Only one narrow, gentle slope led to the gate. The high stone walls offered hope of waiting out the Roman invasion. However, natural bravery did not allow the Aduatucs to just sit back behind the fortress walls. The arriving Romans were constantly attacked by the tribe's warriors. Until finally a wooden fence was erected in front of the fortress, after which the raids became futile. Later, the experience of building fortifications in front of the enemy fortress came in handy for Julius Caesar during the siege of Alesia. Having secured their safety, the Romans began to build siege structures. The sight of a siege tower under construction made the Aduatucs laugh. By what force are people of such small stature going to carry such a huge tower to the walls of the fortress? The defenders of the city openly mocked. The tall warriors of mighty physique were disdained by the sight of the short Roman legionaries. The jokes ended when the siege towers and battering ram began to slowly, but inevitably, approach the walls of the fortress. The hope of high walls was gone. The Aduatic people were in real danger of annihilation. Parliamentarians are urgently dispatched to the Romans. In the Roman camp, respected tribesmen begged Caesar for mercy, but on one condition.
We have seen that the Romans had divine help. There is no other way to explain their victories and the amazing speed with which they move such huge structures. We have heard of Caesar's mercy and kindness and ask for leniency. We have but one request: do not deprive us of our weapons. We are surrounded by enemies, and without weapons we will be easy prey for them.
However, Caesar was not going to change his standard terms of peace, and the surrender of all weapons in the fortress remained mandatory.
All neighboring tribes will be warned that the Aduatuci are henceforth subject to Rome and under its protection. Weapons must be surrendered, and the gates of the fortress opened before the siege guns reached the walls.
In silence and grief, the warriors came in groups to the wall and threw away their weapons.
Follow me! Servants of...
The pile of weapons was so large that it soon equaled the height of the defensive wall. Through the open gate to the fortress stepped legionaries. The soldiers collect the discarded weapons, and now nothing can threaten Rome's power in the area. Or is it? At the end of the first day of peace, Caesar orders the troops out of the fortress to avoid possible nighttime excesses. The legionaries return to the Roman camp for the night.
Warriors, move out!
Caesar could not know that a third of the weapons had not been surrendered by the Aduatucs. That the women of the tribe were urgently weaving new shields for their men. That a night attack was being prepared against the Romans who had relaxed and let their guard down. He could not have known all of this, but he ordered the doubling of the posts and increased vigilance. The Aduatucs' plan to take the Romans by surprise failed. The tribe's desperate attack met with a determined response. Leaving some 4,000 dead, the Aduatucs were driven back to the fortress. The stratagem failed, and in the morning, the infernal machines of the Romans were again in motion. Resistance at the walls was weak, and the fortress was once again in Roman hands. All remaining Aduatuc were sold into slavery in one lot, about 53,000 people. A sad fate for the losers. Were the Aduatucs right to plot treachery, or was Roman rule better than the risk of slavery? What do you think? Write in the comments. Thanks for watching the video to the end. If you liked it, put a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new interesting videos. See you soon.